All right, my friends, welcome back to Frog Boy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to talk about should FSR4 actually come to RDNA 3 7000 series cards and potentially down to the 6000 series cards. Now, I made a video last night, kind of venting, you know, well, more of a rant, you know, in terms of like, look, I paid $933 for a 97 or 7900 XTX. Yeah, I definitely want those features to come to my GPU. I want FSR4 to come to my GPU. And I get a lot of pushback from you guys. And clearly they don't understand. You know, this is my thing. Clearly you guys don't understand. The guys that are giving me the pushback on that, the same, you know, I know plenty of 30 series owners from NVIDIA that were mad that they didn't get those new features. That frame generation alone, if the 30 series would have got that, it definitely would have alleviated and helped with CPU bottlenecking and stuff like that. There are instances where frame generation absolutely freaking makes sense, but to be cut out of a feature and then to have the competitor later down the road bring out a feature that works on their GPU, that is embarrassing. That is embarrassing that AMD can bring frame generation to NVIDIA's 30 series cards, but NVIDIA couldn't seem to do it. They couldn't seem to figure it out. In all their infinite wisdom, with all their money, they couldn't do it. Man, so here's the thing, guys, and this is my way of thinking about it. If the hardware's capable and the company does not support that, and you just, especially right now with GPUs, guys, that we cannot afford to get into a cycle where we need to upgrade every generation. There's already enough FOMO. There's already enough FOMO for us to want to upgrade every generation just to have the best every single generation, okay? Like, it's already there. It already exists. But for these companies, these corporations, especially one like NVIDIA that has the money to literally like become a monopoly. They're basically a monopoly. They really are. When it comes to GPU business, they are a monopoly. And for them to further inflict pain on their customers by locking features to new hardware only, they're just training you, okay? It's called conditioning. You are being conditioned, my friends. It's a psychological term where, you know, like you feed a dog at the same time every day. Pretty soon they start to form that like they're already salivating at that time, knowing that, oh my gosh, I'm going to get food right now. And then they automatically, that's exactly what is happening to us consumers by these corporations. They are conditioning us to accept these excuses that they give us to hold our hardware back, to try to convince us to buy a new piece of hardware. Now, if you go back and you look and you go over to GPU Open and you read all of the research papers and all of that stuff, like I've been doing for the last few months since I got on AMD, learning about ROCm and all of these other features that AMD GPUs are actually 100% capable of using. When you look at the ray reconstruction and path tracing and all of this other stuff running on AMD cards, like in these labs, like these third-party sources out there creating this stuff, utilizing the hardware, programming it, doing all of this stuff because it's open source. And you see that the AMD hardware is more than capable of actually performing these tasks. When the corporation, AMD, comes out and says, oh man, it's only going to work on RDNA 4, to me, for somebody like me that's actually been reading up on this, that's actually been studying this stuff, kind of learning, you know, as I go, trying to figure out, you know, what this stuff is and what this card's capable of, I know that at face value, that is a marketing ploy to get you to upgrade. Now, anybody under a 7900 XT, let's be realistic. Anybody under a 7900 XT, your upgrade is going to be meaningful. Like you are going to upgrade from a 7800 XT or 6950 XT or anything in between under that. Like you're going to upgrade. and you are going to immediately get a benefit. You're going to get FSR4, you're going to get more power, you're going to get better rasterization, you're going to get better ray tracing, you're going to get an upgrade. For somebody like me that has the 7900 XTX, I am still above what that new GPU is going to be. So there's no upgrade path for me on the AMD side. And technically, a lot of you on the 7000 series shouldn't have to upgrade either, because FSR4 should be available on your 7000 series GPUs. Now, those cards launched hot. We waited over a year for FSR3 to even come to it. So the fact that AMD is like always moving their software and their product stack and everything forward and bringing things along, that has given AMD the foundation that they've already got. Okay, most of their customers know and understand, like, look, this feature is going to come, this feature, you know, it's going to get better. They've earned the moniker of age is better like fine wine for a reason. That is part of the foundation. That's what you're buying. You know, with NVIDIA, you're buying new cutting edge features. With AMD, you are buying reliability. You are buying consistency. You are buying the persistence that more features will come to your hardware. That is what you're buying. That is the cost that you're paying. You are 100% investing in an ecosystem that is going to get better over time, that is going to bear more fruits, that is going to make your experience better and give you a better chance at longevity in the PC space. That's what you're buying from AMD. Like with NVIDIA, you are buying cutting edge, you're buying beta features. That's what you're doing. That's what essentially you're doing, is you are buying those features so that you can always be on the bleeding edge of technology. And that's fine. Like there's reasons for people to buy AMD, there's reasons for people to buy NVIDIA. If you want that cutting edge stuff, absolutely buy NVIDIA. Do it. That neural rendering technology that's coming out, the multi-gen frame generation, all of these features are meaningful features. You know, they potentially could make gaming better. I do kind of see it more as like, I don't know anymore. At first it was like, okay, this seems cool, but now I'm like, I don't know, man. They're like literally able to like take voice actors and steal their voices. And you know what I mean? Like the AI thing has gotten to a point where it's like, it could literally replace that. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're playing fast and loose with AI, and it's going to cause a lot of problems. And it's going to enact so much freaking regulation that it's going to shut it down. Like it's going to shut it down. It's going to, I mean, you already got Biden trying to stonewall AI and all of that stuff, but then you've got other countries that are like, whatever, we're going to do whatever we want. The heck with you Americans trying to play it safe, but doing whatever you guys do. Yeah, dude, nobody's going to wait for America to take it slow and figure it out. No, the rest of the world's already got an AI craze. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep doing what they're doing. AI, there's no shutting it back. There's no putting the genie back in the bottle. None whatsoever. So you got to accept that. Like at the end of the day, you know, you're going to have to accept that. There is a chance in the future that AI is basically going to replace the developers that we know and love now that have created the games that we love to play. There's a chance. There's a chance. I'm not 100% on board with that, but at the end of the day, if all I got to do is come in, turn on GeForce Now, say, hey man, I want to play this type of game, and it just builds a game right there on the spot for me, whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Support whatever you're going to support. Buy whatever you're going to buy. But for me, with FSR4 coming to RDNA 3, that is a must-have feature. It is. It needs to come to RDNA 3 for me to be satisfied. For me to be like, okay, I feel good. Was it a promised feature? Absolutely not. Can AMD get away with not bringing it? Yeah, but then it just puts them at the same level as NVIDIA. There's no more. They lose that legacy feature that mattered significantly, at least in my opinion, to the Radeon brand. if they are willing to give up that legacy support for their GPUs, then they're on the same level as NVIDIA in my eyes. Period. Like and I'm not going to rethink that. I'm not going to, if they are unwilling to bring these features to a more than capable GPU like the 7900 XTX, the 7900 XT, the GRE, the 7800 XT, all of those cards are more than capable of running machine learning, and for them to try to pretend or even hint at maybe this isn't going to work, that's crazy. That to me is like, no, what are you guys doing? Why even say that? Just say, look, right now we're worried about making it work for FSR4. We want it to be a launch feature, and that is taking all of our resources. I could look at that and be like, okay, sounds good to me. Yeah, get it done, get it out there, and then bring it to RDNA 3 when you get a chance. Like, I'm not in no big hurry for upscaling. I don't really give a crap. But knowing that it's coming versus uncertainty, that to me, my friends, is kind of a problem. That to me is like, look, don't try to play a game. Just say it. Like, look, right now we're focused on RDNA 4. We want it to be the best launch. We want it to be a good price. We want this thing to gain market share. No problem. Most AMD guys are going to be like, okay, cool, sounds good. We're pretty much okay with waiting for features to come out. Like, at this point, it's like, yeah, we would like them. We would definitely like them to be there quicker. But at the same time, we know that it takes time. We know that it's open source. We know that AMD doesn't have the massive budgets that NVIDIA does. And we know that, the people at AMD, I respect the people that work at AMD for even making this stuff work, to be completely honest with you. I'm ecstatic, dude. I'm not to the point yet where I have to rely on upscalers. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. And like buying NVIDIA for an upscaler or buying it for like ray tracing or features like that, I'm not there yet. It's as simple as that. Like I don't feel this like massive, like, oh my gosh, you got to have this. I mean, to be completely honest with you guys, I would rather only buy a 7900 or 9070 XT this generation. That's what I would rather do. I would rather just buy that and cover that and not even worry about the NVIDIA stuff. But, honestly, guys, if it wasn't for Witcher 4, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I would just be like, okay, I don't really care. But I want to see Witcher 4 with all of its glory. I want to play that game the best way it can be played. Obviously, I'm going to try it on my AMD console or on my AMD side as well. But yeah, like if there's new features that are going to propel that game and make that game significantly better, I definitely want to see Witcher 4 running on both. I absolutely do. That I can say honestly is the only game that's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I gotta buy it. So I did make a mistake and talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 with the NVIDIA features. It sounds like they are basically just bringing the DLSS 2 and FSR 2 to the game. They're not even, bringing frame generation or anything like that. So, okay, I mean, that sounds like it'll be a fair trade, and I'm grateful for that. I am grateful for that, to be completely honest with you. I really do hate it when developers side with one manufacturer over the other. I wish they would just build them out. I wish there was a standard for PC gaming, guys. I do. I wish there was a standard that, that things needed to work, or both GPU manufacturers needed to be fully supported or something like that. I know that puts a lot of strain and a lot of stress on the developers. I get that. But I mean, I see AMD moving forward, trying to make things easier. I see NVIDIA moving forward, trying to make things easier. I see Microsoft trying to bring, like neural rendering and all of that to their SDK and everything to the, to DirectX 12 or Ultimate or whatever. I see these things moving forward, and I see the future of gaming getting significantly better with these features, and I do see that. But at the same time, I also look at this situation and I'm like, wait a minute, dude, like this sounds like a little bit too good to be true. You know what I mean, guys? You know what I mean? So, yeah. I absolutely think FSR3 should come to RDNA 3. Or FSR4 should come to RDNA 3. I absolutely believe that feature needs to come to the 7000 series GPUs. And I do think that they need to find a way to make it somewhat work on RDNA 2. I think that would build a lot of trust. I think that would build a lot of confidence, and I felt like that would, you know, continue to build the foundation that AMD has already built for themselves in being willing to support older hardware. That was a big thing for me in my, you know, deciding to use AMD as my main driver. That foundational support is important to me. A lot of people are like fast, flash in the pan, you know, new features. A lot of people love that stuff, man. And I really am trying to wrap my head around that, but you know, like I am. I'm trying to wrap my head around some of this stuff, you know, because the PC space is pretty weird, man. It's pretty weird. I can't believe that people are out there, you know, telling me, oh no, you can't want that. You want things to move forward. Look, clearly it's already built for RDNA 4. How on earth would it harm that how on earth would it harm RDNA 4 if it came to RDNA 3? Tell me that. There's a finite amount of RDNA 3 cards that will be sold out eventually, and then there will be only RDNA 4 cards to buy. And then there will be a finite amount of RDNA 4 cards, and then there will be new RDNA 5 cards to buy, or UDNA, or whatever. It doesn't hurt them at all. You're being conditioned. Think about that. You're being conditioned to accept the narrative that these companies just can't do something because the tech isn't there. Look, guys, if it didn't work on PlayStation 5 Pro, then I'll be like, okay, maybe it's not, maybe you can't do it. But the fact that RDNA 2 is what powers the PlayStation 5, and the only way they could bring, like, so here's the thing. RDNA 2 is the base. That's why they could only build it out. They had to ensure compatibility with the older games. So that leaves only RDNA 3 that they could build from for the upscaling, and then RDNA 4 for the ray tracing. So that there basically means that, like, look, RDNA 2, 3, 4, there's something, you know, it's built into that architecture. It had to scale. It had to. I mean, you heard Mark Cerny talk about how they had to use the die and build like and build an algorithm or something like that, a software solution to make it work. Like, you already heard Mark Cerny say that. So yes, whatever they got to do, even if it's a software solution, they can make RDNA 4 or FSR4 run on 7000 series GPUs. It's possible. Quit trying to tell me it's not. And quit being mean. Like, yes, absolutely, it would be more beneficial for AMD to bring these features to RDNA 4 or to RDNA 3 than it would be to skip it. It would do more damage to AMD's namesake to skip it than it would to bring it. So, all right, guys, if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to get back to working on Tokyo Extreme Racer, and we'll see you in the next one. See you guys.